Welcome back.
Welcome back. Look at it's Pancake. We miss him. He's sitting in our backpack dead. That's actually kind of sad.
God. Okay. We're still sad.
But I guess back to what I was saying earlier. We gotta move on in life, and so
we can't let the loss of loved ones stop us. We still have to fight.
Make a show.
We still have to make a show, but in reality, we have to fight all the gym leaders and fight a champion.
We can't. He would want us to move on in his spirit. Anyway, so what I was saying earlier about manga serialization is.
Oh yeah.
So
last episode,
yeah,
Austin was talking about manga serialization and how manga and anime series work and why they're so long.
So they're because they're really long because what it is that in a manga magazine, they release a chapter week by week, and in a manga volume, that's around 10 roughly chapters per volume that you have. So if you look at my shelf, and you have guys can't, but each volume
Austin has a whole shelf of Bleach.
Yeah, and I have Dragon Ball and stuff too. But if I have other ones. Oh, it's not just that. Darn it, making a mess. Dropping my SNES games. Okay, so it's also read from right to left. I don't know if you knew that.
I knew that.
You knew that.
I know. I know how manga works.
Okay, so this one has 9 chapters in it. So it takes each chapter, and each of these chapters comes out every week in the magazine. So each week of Shonen Jump, Bleach would come out, or Dragon Ball would come out week by week. And so usually it was always the goal of the writer to try to get the kind of manga going as long as possible. It depends on the manga. Because for stuff for mainstream battle shonen manga like Bleach, Naruto, and Dragon Ball, or One Piece, they're kind of built to just continue going on for a long time. And personal opinions, for me, I don't think that should be a thing with certain anime and manga. Some things like Bleach, either one should have ended a long time ago, or two, the writer of it should have really figured some stuff out, because it kind of just, after a while, it was really good at the beginning, and it kind of just stopped being great because he kind of just ran out of ideas, and kind of just he's been using the same plot for the whole
That's
show
the problem
over and over
if you're
again.
going so long and you're stretching it out.
That's the thing about One Piece, though, is One Piece does it beautifully. They've been going for I don't know how many years, at least over a decade. So it's almost 2 decades now, actually. Maybe 2 decades. It's been about 2 decades now.
I think it depends on how you structure the type of story you're wanting to tell. If you're wanting to tell one story, like in Bleach, for example, you have this idea that you want to present, and there's an end to the story that you have an idea of, and then you don't want the series to end, so you just put in whatever.
Well, because the reason that Bleach doesn't work well like that is because, mainly I think, is because Ichigo, the main character, he never really had a purpose. He had no goal. He literally just was oh, my family is getting, because of me, is going to be eaten by hollows, which are the weird spirit things, that are that eat people and ghosts and stuff with high spiritual energies. So he needs to save his family, and to do so, he put himself in danger, and then he was saved by someone called the Soul Reaper, who are the people that protect the world from those bad guys. So he ends up having to take her powers because she's weakened now, because she sacrificed almost herself for him. And then he has the powers, and then he kind of just has to live her job. So he has no goal, he just kind of has to pay her back for the powers that he has.
And that's the whole show? Ish?
Well, for the first season, kind of. And he's going around Japan, and mainly it's actually just his town, really, fighting monsters. And that was an awesome arc. I actually really liked it. The second arc, a lot of people think was better. I think it was better. I didn't enjoy it as much for some reason, but I like it a lot. It's called the Soul Society arc.
Yeah.
And that's where they have to go, and they have to save Rukia, which is the person that gave Ichigo his powers. And that's great. The problem is that he still doesn't really have any goals besides that in that one arc. Like in One Piece, Luffy has the goal to get, he has to get the One Piece. And in
poison.
Oh, darn. In Naruto, you have an antidote, don't you?
I have an antidote.
Okay.
I'm done with this cave. I need to get out of this freaking cave because someone died and I'm going to die and the world is sorrow.
Yeah. In Naruto, the goal is for Naruto to become Hokage. And so they have their goals, and what works with One Piece is his goal incorporates him traveling everywhere. So this could be eventually an infinitely long, not really, but wait. Almost endless show.
Hold on that.
That's important.
Damn it. Okay, so there's 2 fossils here. I don't think I'm gonna allow Austin to decide.
I think I know which one's left and which one's right.
I know, but am I allowed to use the Pokemon that comes out of the fossil in the Nuzlocke? That's up for debate. Usually, it's usually by the choice of the player. If you're allowed to use those types of Pokemon.
Yeah, I say yes, because if we can.
Because I already found something in
It's not by zone, but for this, I think it's by also by way of getting a Pokemon. But I guess you can't get you can't breed. I'm guessing.
No, you're not allowed to breed in Nuzlocke.
So I don't know with how I don't know.
I usually say no.
Let's just get it and not do anything with it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't matter which one we get. Anyways, so. The reason that, again, One Piece, I think, works is that it creates a premise that the goal of it is established and it's good, but at the same time, it doesn't always have to, it doesn't drain out the show or the manga because it can focus in on its own smaller pieces, but still have an overarching goal.
Mm-hmm.
And in Bleach, you don't really know what to do with Ichigo. The writer doesn't know what to do with Ichigo because he never again had really a goal in mind. He doesn't really have anywhere he wants to go. And it's not like in writing you always need to do that. Not every story, of course, has that. But he doesn't overall have a... There's
nothing driving.
There can't be really a climax, and there's nothing. Unless in each arc you can. But if there's nothing that, there's nothing that drives the story. There's no plot that, and problem that he faces in general. He faces some in each arc, but I don't know, because there's it changes bad guys depending, and a lot of animes and manga do that. And Dragon Ball never had a set goal, and that's fine. It did really well the way it did. Bleach just didn't do it right. Naruto started to not be as good at the end. It did the whole power creep thing where not power creep, but where at the end of it the main character has to become exponentially more powerful as time goes on. Mm-hmm. Continually becoming more powerful, which isn't, in my opinion, a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing of a piece of writing if you do it well. I think Dragon Ball did it really well. But at the same time, I think it's overused. And that's why in One Piece it works so well, is because he doesn't always just pummel and cream his enemies. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll just say that in One Piece there are times where they get beaten. I won't say if anyone dies or not.
Although it takes 2 episodes for a fight to happen. Half the time.
What do you mean? It's not very long.
I know, it's pretty long for one fight.
Not really. Not 2 episodes. Dragon Ball has a lot of episodes. I usually forget that though because I read the manga. I haven't actually seen much of the anime.
I just remember when I watched the little Dragon Ball I've seen, one fight between 2 people lasted a few episodes because it was an epic fight or something.
No, that's not why. The reason is because the manga was being written at the same time. And so they kind of had to fill it up and spread it out so that they didn't get ahead of the manga. Before it was done.
By the way, Austin, I'm out of this stupid cave.
Okay, so we're in the next spot.
We're in the next spot.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're on Route 4, and yeah, I'm glad to be out of that cave. That's Death Cave. That's forever Death Cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pancakes Cave, where we Last Pancake.
Rip Pancake. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then so I like ones that become, you know, like they should always become more powerful again. Like main characters should always. I just don't think it was done well in like Naruto. I love Naruto. I finished the whole thing, the manga, but I don't know. There's a lot of things that kind of bothered me, but it's still really good. That's why like Hunter x Hunter is my favorite manga. Is it does a lot of things differently than a lot of other shonen anime. Have you seen Hunter x Hunter?
No, I don't watch much anime.
Well, bummer. Hunter x Hunter is my favorite just because a lot of it is it takes a lot of tropes that anime has and that anime uses and kind of just flips it on its head and how that works. And it doesn't seem like it does because a lot of the time it uses some of the same things. And there is like a power thing that happens at one point. And I won't spoil anything. It's just, and usually people say, oh, you know, it's the same as like Dragon Ball. Well, no, they used it and they actually, there's a lot of weight to what happens and when people become more powerful. There's also a lot of counter stuff that works. And then with Hunter x Hunter, the main characters, especially the two main characters, Killua and Gon, are never. This is probably extremely boring to anyone that's never watched it. I probably shouldn't talk about specific anime stories too much because if people don't know what it is.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, but anyways,
but I'm playing a game.
I'll sum it up. Basically, Gon and Killua, they're always a lot less powerful than the people they're fighting. And so it never feels like, you know, they're just becoming way more powerful than anyone they're fighting at all. Anyways, so that's about it. I love anime, and so if you haven't,
that's kind of obvious.
Figure that out. But if you haven't seen it already, watch Hunter x Hunter. My favorite anime of all time. The 2011 version, by the way. There's two versions. The one made in 1999. Look at the 2011 version and watch that. It's on Hulu, I think. I don't think it's on Netflix.
Damn it, Rattata. This is my first encounter for Route 4.
That's fine, though, because we have a Rattata.
We have a Rattata, so we can run.
But we're probably going to find another.
We might find another Rattata. We might find another Pidgey.
Yeah. Anyways, so we might. Maybe our audience will be. We'll have.
Yes!
There we go, an Ekans.
I like Ekans.
We'll trade him out for Drum or something.
We'll trade him out for Pancake.
Oh, right.
Because Pancake is dead.
Sorry about that.
Never forget. Yeah. Never forget Pancake.
Yeah. But it might be cool if, like, our fans, we end up learning they like anime too, or we find fans that do and stuff. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like it'll alienate a lot of people. Because a lot of people that like video games don't necessarily like anime, and vice versa. I'm not one of those people. I love both.
Yeah.
So it isn't. I don't know, but I just want to be careful. I can go on and on about anime.
I can't. Like I don't know a lot about a lot of anime because I've only seen a few of them. And I actually don't watch a lot of shows now, like in general. The only show that I'm really like invested in is Game of Thrones right now because that's consumed my life.
I'm reading it right now. I'm only on the first book. I was gonna watch the show. I haven't actually seen the show. I've been wanting to watch it, but like I'm messed up and I need to watch. I'm not really messed up. A lot of people do this, but I need to read the books before I watch the show or the movie. So I have all 5 books written so far. I just need to get to them, and I've been reading other books. I just finished the second book in the Millennium series. If you don't know what that is, that's the girl who with the dragon tattoo, and the girl who played with fire, and the girl who kicked the hornet's nest, and then there's a couple others. But so I've been reading through that. But anyways, so I would want to get to Game of Thrones. I finished Breaking Bad recently. I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I love that book.
Yeah, you haven't even seen the show yet.
I haven't seen the show.
Okay, and then I mean, of course, we watched Stranger Things. I think we talked about it a little bit on the show. When Stranger Things season 2 just recently came out, and so it's my favorite show.
I don't know if it was
favorite American show. Like,
was it how long ago was
Western,
it? Like a month or 2? At this point.
At this point, for the viewers, it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, we don't need to say how long ago.
It was almost exactly 2 months ago then.
Okay.
I don't need to say. Anyways, but yeah.
I caught an Ekans, and guess what I named it?
I wasn't listening. Snake?
I named it Snake.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Because Ekans is...
No, I want to say. I want to sound clever.
Everyone knows this.
No.
If they know Pokemon,
Ekans. If you didn't know, his name backwards is Snake.
Wow.
I know, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind blown, you know? I'm just gonna pretend no one knew that, and like I came up with that, and I was the first one to realize.
Sounds cool. I'll just read my manga as we play and finish up.
You're not even gonna pay attention?
Nope. It's reading Bleach. Yay.
Why would you read? Why would you read when you can fight things?
What? I had a friend who, I guess I'll talk about this next episode, but I had a friend who didn't understand why I'd read manga instead of just watch anime. That was an interesting talk to have. Anyways, see you guys next time.
Yeah.
We'll have the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed this episode.
I hope so too.
Okay.
Goodbye.
That was a lot of anime talk.
A lot of anime talk.
We can title the episode like Austin talks about anime.
Yeah.
Or something.
Sorry, viewers.
No,
Too much
that's
anime.
fine.
Yeah.